everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. In the immortal words of my dog, Duke. Let's get this all adjusted here. How's the levels? Good? You guys can hear me okay? Oh boy, no pressure, right? Well, I'm already drinking, so that's always a good sign, right? How's that level for the microphone? Pretty good? There'll be a little bit of an echo because I'm using my super duper cool mic that is... I do live! Where the Fark have I been, right? And we're gonna talk about that music that I'm playing because it's pretty tight actually. But we'll do that in a sec. We're gonna start in just a minute or so. I'm sorry I was a little about 30 minutes late. My podcast that I'm working on ran 30 minutes late. Good, levels are good, and I can always adjust them. I've got some faders and stuff. I have all sorts of toys in OBS. But I think we've got a good signal with the piano. You'll hear a bit of a slap echo because it's coming out the speakers, and actually I gotta adjust my speaker. But I don't care. I hate wearing headphones, and I'll do it if I have to for something. But like for stuff like this, we're just kind of like getting into it. I'm like, just whatever. Yeah, I'll mute myself when I'm actually playing something or playing back something. Speaking of which, happy 2022, everybody! I'm back. Woo! Farkle Fridays are back. I redid my schedule, which is what the first 10 minutes of our talk will be. Of course, what's hilarious is about like half of my crew I just saw this week for like teaching and webinars and stuff like that. So, hey. So I'll answer all those questions, and then we're going to jump in with a Farkle Friday. This one's going to be a bit philosophical, but also highly musical. So we're going to have some fun with this one. First, for some of my peeps who are not Think Spacers, hi, I missed you all. Second, for my Think Spacers, hi, I didn't miss you because I see you like all the time. So, but I still love you guys. Yeah, thanks, Wayne. I'm excited to be back. So this is a little fun thing of like, yeah, Farkle Fridays on a Wednesday sounded weird, right? It wasn't cool. And that kind of ties into what the heck was going on this past year. All good things. During this year of the pandemic, which was just gloriously pandemic-y. So a little bit of backstory. I ended up having a surprisingly busy year. A couple things happened. One is I worked on another film and did some work there, but my video game work really took off. And I ended up getting a lot of work done on a couple of mobile games, which was great because it was money and it was work, and I really loved the director. But the director of the studio came to me and two other friends of mine who were industry vets, and in like July, he said, all right, we're not getting any younger. Let's do something. So we're starting to put together an indie studio. So I've gone the indie route. Yeah, because why not do the indie route at 48? That's the great time to do it. But, it's one of those things where part of, I think, what this pandemic has taught many people is, unless we're grossly misunderstanding how this works, we might only be on this earth once. And there's a time and place to take care of your family, and there's also a time and place to take care of your soul. And, one of the things that I just... like, I love mobile games and I love the companies that I'm working for, but I'm like, I haven't really done anything like to really emotionally grab the listener, like artist stuff kind of thing. So that's kind of been happening, and we've been putting together stuff with the legal team to put together the LLC, excuse me. Yeah, because I already had one of these before I started. And then in addition, I ended up beginning to teach a whole lot over at ThinkSpace Education, which everybody here knows, because if you're on YouTube, you've seen Guy Mitchell-Moore. It is awesome. It is the best place. I love teaching there. I have so much fun. I love grading. I love doing the webinars. And, I guess they like me because they've kept me around. So it just got really busy. And last year was a really great year of like trying new things and kind of planting some seeds. But here's where this all ties in. Oh, and then, of course, the third thing is I kept myself from getting to be fat Farkle by training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I ended up testing for my blue belt in September, which was basically a summer of training, which was awesome. And then I ended up starting to coach boxing over there, so that's where Friday was. So I was boxing, so, all these things. So teaching at ThinkSpace, training in Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, time with my daughter's school opened up, so she started doing, she got to do a theater production, so she's doing 2 theater productions. It's just awesome. It's been a great year, and I'm really proud of how my family has kind of weathered the uncertainty of this. So then near the end of the year, and then of course, church. So near the end of the year, I started getting this, maybe like November, I was starting to get this niggling of like, man, I need to stretch myself out as an artist. I need to start really pushing on some stuff. And, one of the nice things about teaching is that, especially because look, I've got like a bunch of people here. I got Peter and Kat and James and Laurie and all this. Like, you get really inspired when you teach, right? Yeah, the Corona calories are real, dude. Even this last month, because I'll tell you about 2022, and then we'll jump in and have some fun with some music. Even grading and giving feedbacks, we do these things in ThinkSpace called one-to-ones, which are these 30-minute targeted tutorials. It's like me and somebody with a Zoom. So like the quality of the music is so good. And then after about 6 months or a year of it, you start being like, oh man, I'm not writing anything. These guys and girls are all writing stuff. And like their stuff's getting real good. And not that it's a competitive thing, but it's kind of like, man, I need to start writing some stuff again, right? I've been helping everybody. You start to get the buzz. And then of course I've got this new game studio, and we've begun building the audio design document, and the lead designer is a big music lover. So he's been really deep diving in with me. And so I said to this year, I said, you know what? I got to start getting the creative stuff going again. And of course, idiot me, the time to build a YouTube channel should have been during the pandemic. And now that we're, God willing, coming out of the pandemic, now I decided to go to YouTube. The worst timing as a musician ever. So, but I said, you know what? I don't care. So I talked to Alberto, who runs the jiu-jitsu school. I was coaching boxing 4 to 5:30 on Fridays. And I'm like, hey, listen, can we move some stuff around? I really need to get Fridays off. And John, how are you? I owe John a cocktail. See, now I said it publicly, so now I have to do it. I will do it. So I last week moved around the boxing stuff so that my Fridays end at like noon, so I can do Farkle Fridays again, which I really miss. And so that's what's been going on. So what's going on this year is I'm almost done with getting myself certified for Weiss. I have to do 2 more lessons and then take the test, which is great because I've been wanting to learn Weiss for about a year now. We're finishing up this new indie studio. We're focusing on narratively driven role-playing games, but it's a little more involved in that. You'll see that over the year. And doing more Farkle Fridays, and I'm going to start working on just music that I want to put out, which I talked about a year ago and then never did because I was busy. So you just got to prioritize. You got to make it. So that's kind of where I've been the last year. Pretty healthy. I did get 2022 came off and smacked me in the nuts on January 1st by giving both Sarah and myself the Rona. So I was out for about 3 days with the Corona. It wasn't bad. I mean, not to get anything political, but Sarah and I are vaccinated, so literally it was just a bad cold. And I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm like, that's why you get vaccinated, in my opinion. So it was fine, but it was kind of one of those like funny things of like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, life's a little transient. You got to kind of focus on some stuff. So let me check and see what the is that okay? Yeah. So one of the things that this ties in, James, with like where I'm at and what I'm doing, and this ties in with I'm going to answer Peter's question about the music we listen to. I started saying to myself, what do I want to write? And like I've had this like weird thing where it's like I know how to write for briefs because you get the brief and your job is to learn the dialogue of that brief and the language. But I was like, what happens when I want to say something? And I started thinking about what influences me and what I love. And I always say, oh yeah, I love John Williams. And I'm like, yeah, I don't write like John Williams. I just don't have those chops. But I love and I write like 80s Goldsmith and 80s Silvestri combined with some other stuff. And I said, oh, you know what? I need to just start to own the fact that I'm an 80s sci-fi fantasy nerd. So of course, once you go to the internet, you start typing like 80s t-shirts and 80s, you start finding all this shit. So this is literally Welcome to the Jungle with Predator, which is, in my opinion, it's probably Alan's second best score. And it might be my favorite, And because I mean, Back to the Future, I tie between those two. And Back to the Future obviously has a slightly stronger thematic component, but Predator's got the burliest brass. Like it's like a score that keeps up with Arnold. But this ties in with the other thing, which Peter, you're asking what this was. This is an anime called Violet Evergarden, which is a beautiful anime, a very wild story, which we'll get into in a little bit. But when I started thinking about building what I wanted to build, I was like, well, I'm going to build just standalone music and also work on games. And I ran into this big problem, which we're going to talk about today. And we'll see what I do. I don't even know. I mean, I'm all over the place. I've got stuff loaded, but who knows? Which is Man, what happens when you're not scoring narrative and you're scoring beats? What happens when you're trying to score, um, not mood, but well, I was saying narrative. What happens when you're not scoring to film, where the timing and the tempo is the film? What happens when you're scoring narration by itself? And that, like, just when I started to try and play with that idea, that stopped me flat in my tracks. I was like, how do you know when to do the harp sweep into the big noble theme? How do you know when to pull back and have it just be, these chords and these chords? What chords are what chords do wistful? Does this chord do wistful? Does this chord do wistful, right? Does this chord do wistful? Like they all do wistful, right? And it's like, how long do you sit on this chord? And I was like, man, this is writing by itself when you're not writing to an industry, production music, library music, game loop, game was closest, a film score where you can time it out. It's really hard. So I was like, well, I gotta start listening to music that makes me feel a certain thing and see if I like what it inspires me to do. And for some reason, bad thing, I have just been falling in love with like that tight television anime sound and composing. I've been diving into My Hero Academia and Full Metal Alchemist and Violet Evergarden and Tales of Escaflowne, combined with the video games that I love, which is the Final Fantasy VII and all that stuff. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And Peter, this guy named Evan Call, who scores Violet Evergarden, is just so on point. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's where we're going. I don't even know who's here in the chat right now. I don't even know how many people. Can I see participants? See, this is the worst. YouTube's horrible. It's like it says there's 4 people here, and there's like Kat and like Wayne's here. I was like, dude, YouTube sucks. Just go Rumble. Let's go. Yeah, My Hero Academia is bitching good. So hold on a second. I know this. When I do this, this makes me. Oh, and by the way, for all you complainers out there, my buddy Matthias was like, "Oh, your screen is so small." For you, because I love you, I took my screen and I think this should be better. I scaled it to 200%, so you should be able to see this a lot better, right? So, yeah, it's cool stuff. So the thing about this though is that this is kind of my first one back, and I'm a little rusty. Jake, what's up, Jake? How are you, man? Yeah, it's been a while. I don't have a specific theme today in terms of a lot of prep work, although I do have a theme. The theme is mood. The theme is actually storytelling and that kind of thing, but boy, that's vague, And I've got some ideas for some. I do have to do a template one about Studio One at some point, although I'm still figuring out Studio One version 5. Again, I haven't written any music since like September in Studio One. It's all been, I haven't done that much music. It's just been like, I've been doing charts for my church group because we had to get ready for Christmas. And yeah, see, like freaking YouTube doesn't know what the hell's going on. They're idiots. Sorry, 2 of my really good friends work for Google, but whatever, they're idiots. So there's a couple of things that we can do here. A, everybody should be drinking. Cheers and happy 2022 to everybody. Just boom, give me some love there. 2, I've got Studio One up, so we can kind of start to play around with that a little bit because I got some new toys. And I can showcase one toy, which I haven't even played with yet. We can start to try and figure out scoring moods and story without the picture, which is so much of what I'm in a course right now called The Online Musician, and it talks about finding your niche and your micro niche. And so much of it is being like, don't worry about how niche your genre is. There are people who will buy that album. And I started going on to Spotify and doing research, and there are tons of guys that are writing like tabletop role-playing game music, and it's just kind of this, again, telling a bit of a story. They tend to be a bit more ambient. I'd like to be a bit more melodic, but they tell a story that builds and grows without a film to back it. It's a kind of cinema without the cinema, cinematic music without the cinema. But there's cinema without the cinema, and there's old school, television scoring. And I like this stuff, the stuff that Evan is writing in this beautiful music here. Which, by the way, if you ever saw my Gone But Not Forgotten Michael Kamen, He's writing a lot of stuff that sounds like Michael Kamen. And then the other, yeah. And the other component of this that got me excited, which I kind of steered away from, I always said, yeah, I'm a piano player. No one wants to hear pianos. Everyone's a guitarist. And I learned how to program drums and guitars. And I'm like, well, whatever. When I play the piano, right? I'm like, who wants to hear that shit? And then I'm like, you know what? If that's what my voice is, if I like playing nostalgic, emotional piano stuff, and then of course I thicken it with orchestration and stuff, just fucking write it. Who cares? That's my new favorite concept. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Who cares? I've been saying that to my Think Spacers all January. In terms of like, just do it, right? If I like writing that stuff, if I like writing all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Evan Call, he's an American who moved to Japan and ended up getting the Violet Evergarden series and does a banging job with this. So, I'm not the best piano player in the world, but I'm not horrible. I'm not gonna be like, like I can't do that shit anymore. These hands, they're all beat up from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So today's one of two ways. We could either do a fun little grab bag and just basically throw stuff out and just make me go through hoops, or we could play with my Studio One and I could show you some of the new libraries I'm playing with, maybe try and sketch the beginning of a piece, or we could talk about scoring mood and just, kind of get into some harmony stuff. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Let's take a vote. I should have done a little Google vote. I don't know. I have two preferences. So I gotta see what people think. I'm waiting for the chat window to catch up. I want votes. I want ideas. And one will be fun, but it won't sound very good because I have no idea how to use these libraries yet. One will be more theory, but then you won't get a chance to have me play in Studio One, which I think people want to do. I think people are feeling the Studio kind of thing. Let me see what people are saying here. Can you do polls in live stream chats? Create a poll. Oh my God. Should we live in Studio? Wait. Okay, wait. Ask a question. Oh my gosh, hold on. I can do a poll. This is so cool. Everybody, hold on. How does this work? Okay, cool. Okay. Here we go. Here comes the poll. Okay, there it is. There's the poll. Ask my community. How do you ask the community? Oh God, why don't you let me do this? Oh, 35 characters. Okay, hold on a second here. Sorry, this is all. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, hold on. The poll's coming. I gotta use this thing. This is cool. This is 2022. We gotta. It's not coming yet because I was too verbose. There it is. There's the poll. Get after it. All right, there it is. There's the poll. Let's get after it. Oh, everyone wants to put me in the fucking spot. It's like our tutor talks a mean game. Let's see if he can deliver the goods, right? Wow. I have 400 subscribers. Thanks, everybody. Don't I get like a free car when it's like 500? I know. How do you figure out all chat? There we go. So you know what? Here's a great thing. So now we've just done today. We're going to do Studio One, and guess what? In like 3 weeks or so, or in a couple weeks, we're going to do talking about moods and scoring. That's you've just given me my next Farkle Friday, or one of those, right? Ta-da! Yeah, man, the Hans Zimmer rant's legendary. Well, because it's tasteful. I'm not one of these hate mongers. I like I said, you hear it because I'll always say things like, "Dude, I loved Hans Zimmer's '90s stuff. I loved The Rock. I loved The Last Samurai. Absolutely phenomenal score. His score to Drive Miss Daisy was charmingly adorable. I don't like his. I have to work that in with a webinar for ThinkSpace. See, y'all should join ThinkSpace because there's shit that I don't talk about in Farkle Friday that I do in the webinar. So people who join the ThinkSpace community. Fucking rage flip. Let's get the rage flip. All right, so tell you what, let's do this. Let's put me into Studio One. We'll see what the hell's going on here. And I'll have a notepad here right now. Let's go to the main screen, and there I am. And let's open up Studio One, and let's go. I'll do this, and then we'll. So first of all, this should look bigger because I blew it up for you savages. So I think that's good. So here's toy number one. Got myself a little scoring strings, which is it sounds good. It sounds really good. Yeah, the Sherlock score is solid. The rumor is, yeah, we're gonna end this poll. The Vox Populi, the polls have spoken. The people have spoken. The rumor is that Trevmo really did the heavy lifting on Sherlock, and Hans kind of came in. That's neither here nor there. The more you get, yeah, this should be a lot better, right? The more you get into any industry, I'm going to tell you one story about this before we jump in. The more you get into any industry, the more you learn who the movers and the shakers are, what really happens behind the scenes. And James, who wants to hear about a Mick Gordon story, the more you realize that when you find the true people in the industry, just the real good guys and girls, freaking hang on to them. And Mick Gordon is a real good guy. He's just the real deal. He's just everything you want with an Aussie. He's just this like bonkers. I just look at the world through my own unique world. Everybody's his friend the minute you meet him. He just loves life, loves people. Everything is a yes can do kind of stuff. But the kind of shit that he does, I remember this was back in 2012. We were all at GDC, and all the audio guys and girls hang together because we all have, it's like, there's a lot of great stuff about being a games composer and being a games audio person. It really is. I really think it's one of the greatest jobs in the world. There's a lot of shit you have to deal with. There's a lot of like budget shit, and there's a lot of like breaking in. It's hard. So, a lot of times we go to GDC, we would all get together and just like, blow off steam. So Mick's running around with a Zoom H4, and he's got I'm going to screw up his Aussie accent. He's like, all right, guys, we're going to do this amazing thing. I'm going to everybody's going to make a sound into this. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to build a GDC song from all of the sounds. So he literally hit like about 100 audio guys and girls up and was like, make a sound, any sound. And some of them would be like, and some of them would be like, And I think, I did this. I did that as my sound. And about a month later, he took all those sounds, opened them up in Reaper or whatever he's using, sliced them up, carved them up, put them into Contact, time stretched them, did all the Mick Gordon thing, and built this like epic like EDM metal track that was all done with vocalizations from about 100 game audio people. And it was just this bonkers thing that he did. It was so fucking cool. It's like, and of course, like if you've ever heard his production skills, they're bonkers good. If you ever listen to his score to Avatar: The Last Airbender from 2014, the music is good. It's pretty standard. The production is just top end, like just so good. So that's the kind of guy Mick Gordon is, he's Australian. Like, just whenever you get a chance to hang with Australians. They're so much fun. So there's the story. So James, there's the first story about about Mick, and that's a very positive story. I've gotten grim. What's going on, man? So Tokyo Square All right, so let's sketch some ideas here, right? And here's what I gotta do. God damn it. hold on a second. I got to do this. It's okay. Just you guys should see this, okay, right? Because this will allow. Oh, wait. My is you might not be seeing scoring strings. Yeah, I have to do main screen. And the reason I have to do main screen is if I do Studio One only, you won't see the pop-up window, so you can't see what the hell's going on with scoring strings, which I bought like, yeah, man, he's great. He's a great guy. Like, I want you to know that I have met, I'll tell you one more story about game audio before we jump in, because it's kind of fun. I have met in the game audio, and I've met, yeah, well, we'll talk about that project, yeah, in a sec. And that's going to be another Farkle Friday. So, oh, good, Grim. Good, congratulations on finishing your exam, man. Brutal. So, I will say this, and I don't badmouth, but I'm also truthful. I think I've only met like one or two assholes in the game audio industry. Like, I can think of like two people that were like kind of pain in the asses. Everybody else, and I've probably met over 150 game audio professionals, are really cool people. They're nerdy sometimes. Like, I've met like some guys who are pretty freaking like Kurt Larson is pretty nerdy, and like he's, when you hang with him, you're like, yeah, you don't get out a lot, you know, but he's super nice. But they're all game audio people tend to be the blend of like the introverted artist and the introverted programmer. So yeah, they're gamers. Yeah, exactly. So when someone like me comes in, who's coming out of the film industry and is also kind of an extrovert, they tend to be like, oh my God, there's a lot of energy. But I remember and I apologize to the women in this only because it's a silly story that is talking about not strippers, showgirl dancers, which if you go to Vegas, they well, so the story was I was at a game audio party and we were talking about crazy things that we had seen or done or whatever. And I can't remember what it was, but I told some story when I was in Las Vegas where something happened and like we ended up going into a party and it was the wrong party, but somehow we got in and it was supposed to be like this very casual, easy going party. And we came in, it was like staffed with like Vegas go-go girl dancers who wear the bikinis and the pasties, right? And I remember being like, and I turned the corner and there I was with these three beautiful women and all I could see were pasties. And I turn and I see Lance and Jason Hayes, who were two of the big composers at Warcraft. And they're looking at me like this and I go, pasties. And they go, bah! And then we went and got loaded together. And so the very next day we're like, you know, at lunchtime and I'm walking by and I see them and I look at Jason and I was like, pasties. And he's like, pasties. So it's like just this dumb little joke that was, you know, so, you know, I don't apologize because they were wearing pasties. I don't know what to tell you, but look, that was one of the random things that happened with, yeah, it was something like that. You know, it was it was when I was in Vegas for some MMO conference or something. Anyways, let's yeah, I'll keep on doing this. I don't care. I'm like, look, anybody who's on my Farkle channel knows me by now, and they're like, oh my God, if you're gonna say that, look, it's not like I'm sitting here like dehumanizing. So let's do some sketching. Somebody asked this, hey, you're bouncing Berlin Woodwinds. What happened to your template? Here's what happened to my template. I had a revelation. And the revelation was, it's just a funny, silly joke. And just, you know, I also hung out with Bear McCreary and he's a wonderful guy. He works really hard and he's a really good composer. And I scared the shit out of him because I've been texting, I have a casual acquaintance of his. We have been texting back and forth through email. He'd been giving me some career advice, and then I saw him at GDC, and I was just 2 drinks in, so I had a little bit of like no fear. And he was talking with a couple composers. He's a very animated guy, and I was like, Bear, it's Mike from Philly, and I charged at him. And now Bear is 5'6", and I'm 6'2". Right now I'm 190 pounds. I was 225. I was fat Farkle. So Bear turns and sees this huge Irish guy lumbering at him against Mike. And his eyes went, I gave him the big hug and he was like, I was like, it's from Philly. And he's like, oh, right. And then we talked for like half an hour. He was super nice. Just if you go to these conferences, you meet these people. Our industry is not that big. You know, it's not that big, which is why you go to GDC. You go to GDC to make friends in the industry. Which is a conversation for another time. Let's do some sketching. So here's what happened. I started building my template, and I actually have 2 templates that I'm working on. I can't load this one right now because one is almost one is pretty done, but it's 25 gigs and it's going to take like 8 minutes or 10 minutes to load. I decided I wanted a tighter studio sound for my projects. I like that sound. I also have a cinematic. I bought a bunch of cinematic stuff from 8dio that are the bigger one, and I'm going to build a template with that. But I wanted a studio sound, so I was starting to. Yeah, I went to school with Austin. Yeah, exactly. I went to school with Austin. Austin was an undergraduate at NYU, where I was a graduate at NYU, and he and I roll with the same circle and stuff like that. So yeah, Tom Salta lives right up in New York. he lives in Norwalk. Yeah, I've done some arranging for him, and he's a really nice guy too. He's a very, very professional composer. Like, he's good. He's definitely good, but he always hits his deadlines. I'm not always good about my deadlines. It's not that big an industry, you know. Like, and if you're nice and if you're cool, just then people like you, you know. And you don't look for work. Like, when I met these guys, I was old enough to know, like, I'm not here to look for work. I'm just here to try and make some friends so we can nerd out over game audio stuff. You will, James. Just go to GDC. You'll be fine. But don't go until you can afford it. Like, that was the dumb thing that I did. I went 3 years in a row. Yeah, exactly. Like, I told you, I'm like, look, when I graduated from NYU, here's who was in my class with me. Christy Carew, who later on became the music supervisor for 5 Alarm Music, which is like one of the top music libraries in LA. Austin Wintory, who everybody knows. James Sizemore, who became one of the lead orchestrators for James Newton Howard and worked on all of the Hobbit movies and all the Lord of the Rings. John, one of my other buddies, got 2 Sundance Film Awards and is now like scoring major features. He's did like, you know, he worked on some of the Smurfs and this and the other. Like, that was my class. And then there's me. It's like sitting outside of Philadelphia, scoring Vampires on a Boat, doing mobile games, like, you know. But I said this to my TSEers, one of them. We're going to get to the sketching, I promise. I guess everyone's missed the Farkle rants. What do you know, one of the things my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach has said to me over the last year, which has been a really wonderful reminder, is, what do you want to get out of what you're doing? Because I was talking about, you know, my progression in Brazilian. I was like, he's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a self-defense guy? In which case, do these classes. Do you want to explore more? Do you just want to have it be a hobby? Just go a couple days a week. What do you want to get out of scoring? Do you want the vanity? I'll tell you about the podcast. Yeah. Do you want the vanity? I don't mean vanity metric. Do you want the exciting metric of being a AAA composer and getting Fallout 5, or, you know, getting, you know, one of the Obsidian titles or whatever? Awesome. Like, I would love that. I don't know if I'm willing to pick my family up and move to like Toronto to be in the scene there. I don't know. I love the fact that right now I work a strong 5 to 6 hour day, but I can finish at 2 o'clock. And so I only have 2 more years with my daughter before she goes to college. So I like that, you know. I will say one little brag moment too, which is everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, working on 8 triple indie games, and it is sexy. I love the idea of this team that I'm working with. But the last 2 mobile games that I worked on, one of them was top 10 Android, and the other is like top 50. The top 10 one still makes $1 million a day, and I did all the music for it. So it's like, I don't see any of that because I don't own, hence the studio. But people are like, oh yeah, I scored like, you know, this AAA game. Like, all right, the game that I scored makes $1 million a day and has for the last 2 years. The other game that I scored makes $250,000 a day and has for the last year. Yeah, I know, she's 15 now, Grim. She got in the car to help mom pop the trunk, and she was in the driver's seat, and I looked at her and I was like, oh my God, she's in the driver's seat and it looks normal. Like, cause she's almost 16. I was like, cause she's gonna be driving. Yeah. Grim remembers when she was doing the look up in Farkle Friday when I'm transcribing, one of the times I'm transcribing the Goonies theme, and you'll see this little stubby Catherine with pudgy cheeks doing bumped dun 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 dun. It's great stuff. So I hope I didn't offend everybody with that. Hey, this is my channel, my time, whatever. I'm not offending anybody. Yeah, baby. I hope so. We have a 5-year plan. You know what? I'm having fun. These 3 guys that I work with, Mike, Lou, and Al, are really talented at their job. I love them to death. They're great people. So this ties in with that. I wanted a tighter, more studio sound. Yeah, back in the old room, right back when right now I'm facing here. My desk was there. So what you were seeing was Fat Farkle over there, and then the camera was catching this. So you'll see it. This is, I think this is much better. This is cool. And I got a sofa. And Emily Sherwood loves one of my students, although I don't know why she's one of my students. She's like a really good composer. But she loves the fact that I got the board games there. So Grimm, or who was it that was asking where the Berlin Woodwinds was? I didn't want that big, huge hall set anymore because the stuff that I was listening to was television stuff. I was listening to, here, we'll boot it up. Let's have some fun. I have a tomato plant. I have my Voya Pomodoro. I mean, listen to what I was listening to. I was listening to, like these tighter TV sounds. And so, yeah, I know it's silly, but this is actually a great score. Listen to this action adventure stuff. I'm gonna mute it, but listen to how tight the room sound is for this. Yeah, right? That old school, it's so gorgeous, right? That studio set, it's tight, but there's a splash of the room. And it's a great show. And I love, look, the TSCers know I've done a couple of Star Trek ones. I love that 80s action adventure sound. I'm going to answer, yeah, right? Oh, Peter, yeah, you know, this is, and Xena, yep, Joseph LaDuca. So real fast, Grimm, that is Small World. It's an adorable game. I recommend also getting Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is a really cool game. And Grimm said that old school dense sound exactly because it was in this tight little room. So here's what happened. I was like, I love this sound. It's a very playable sound. I'm not worried about getting depth. It kind of has this, you know, nice feel to it. Yeah, Anvil, this Empire Strikes Back has that very dry sound as well. I agree. The composer of this is a guy named Joseph LoDuca, who ended up doing The Librarian, which was a really cute little indie knockoff. And I realized that I love the writing of John Williams, but the sound of John Williams I'm having a little trouble getting. But I can do this sound very easily. I've done the other TV stuff I've been listening to was the Next Generation stuff, which has another similar sound. Like if you listen to let's grab this. We'll get to me playing around with my stuff here. But if you listen to hold on a second here. Oh, I know. I gotta. He's part of a composing team, so I have to do Star Trek. Yep, Best of Both Worlds. Here we go. This is a really good one that he does. Borg Engage, I think is the one. I mean, listen to this. This is like, again, but there's, what you're hearing is you're going to hear that tighter room sound, and then they throw a lexicon or some sort of reverb on it, like a Bricasti or something like that. So, Grimm, I'll answer that question in just a second. First. Yeah, you hear how close those strings are? And I'll answer that question in a second. Hear how tight that sound is? It's like super tight. Here, another one. Love that sound. It's super tight. So the I started like getting into that, and I was like, oh man, I want to get that sound. And then right at that time, I found, yeah, it's such a close sound. Then right at that time, I found musical sampling. Holy shit. So listen to this. So here's what I did, and I'll play this a little bit. Listen to this sound. This was recorded at the bridge in LA, and you're like, oh my God, it's the TV sound, right? So it's like, I mean, there's the sound right there, right? Oh, James, my brother, you got to, I got to do a Jerry Goldsmith Farkle Friday at some point. So Adventure Brass, absolutely phenomenal, bonkers good. And actually, I'm going to crank it so you can really hear it. So here, so I was like, all right, I'm going to start finding these small studio sounds. So I grabbed Adventure Brass, Adventure Strings, and Soaring Strings for musical sampling. Yep, got that. Then woodwinds. Yeah, thanks, James. Well, it's because I know that sound. Like I know this is like oh, that's what it is. That's the yeah, it sounds really good, right? And the trumpets sound great as well. I mean, look, literally, it's designed for that 80s action adventure sound. Listen to the trumpets. Oh, screw around. Who cares? So my template that's over here that I will show you, which is, I can't, all right. So over in Box, I have all my templates saved, right? The one that I'm building, that's my, yeah, so here's the woodwinds that I got. I ended up going, and I'm going to do a Farkle on this because I've got to build this thing, and well, I built it. I need to balance it. I said, okay, what's dry with that room sound that's got the agility? And I said, don't look for the symphonic stuff. It's too big. And I went to 8DO, and they have that warm, intimate studio woodwinds, and I was like, got it. And I got it, and I was like, yeah, that's sounding pretty good. And so my woodwinds for this new template, which is saved in Box, but it's like, look at how long it took to load the trumpets. Now do that times 30 times. So I was like, okay, brass is going to be Adventure Brass. Got it. And I found a couple other little ones. Like I found this trumpet for free that I can't remember. You'll see it when I do the Farkle Friday. And then hi, James, you up for recording? Oh, yeah, that's right. I owe John a recording. I got to play some piano on the tracks. Here's the... ATO times suck. They take forever. Project Anvil. I have the Westgate winds, and I was thinking about reprogramming them, but somebody dropped some contact scripts that actually make them very playable, so I'm going to be using them. So my winds are warm studio woodwinds from ATO, supplemented with the Westgate studio winds because they have that nice tight sound. Good call, Project Anvil. You're so right. Brass is Adventure Brass. I supplemented it with a couple things here and there. Percussion is Cineperk blended with Veer 2 orchestral percussion, because they've got a really nice dry sound. So this is it's got a give you that nice room slap, right? So it's good stuff. And then I was like, well, what am I gonna do for string libraries? Because everything's symphonic. Then Andrew Aversa called. It was like Tokyo scoring strings, and I was like, holy shit, that's the sound. That's the sound that I want, So my other bigger template is Tokyo scoring strings, adventure strings, and soaring strings layered, right? Or it will be layered. I've loaded them all. Adventure brass with a couple of other things. I think I loaded Century Brass solo French horn because it's pretty good. Winds are studio woodwinds from ATO supplemented with I know, Bradley. And then percussion is going to be a combination of Veer 2, Cineperk, it is, and And then choir is Voxus. I ended up buying Voxus 2 on a sale. I really like it. But again, I'm not going for epic. I'm going for this little tight sound. So this ties into this template here, which is I was like, Jesus, I gotta freaking like learn how to use Tokyo scoring strings. And so I was like, well, let me go listen to some anime stuff. And there's a ton of anime stuff that's like, tell me if this sounds familiar. It's like, oh yeah, strings, piano, right? Beautiful. Right, that kind of stuff. With a harp, right? With a Glock. And then some sort of solo instrument. And then I was like, well, they always layer it with synths. So I grabbed a couple of synths from the Roland, because I'm on the Roland yearly thing. And I just said, I'm just gonna build something. Well, that's a crappy pad. I don't know about that. This is actually really pretty, this D50. Listen to this music box. Isn't that beautiful? Just such a great sound. I always do this where I just pull everything down by like 6 decibels or 10 or 12. Why did I do those? Whatever. I just pull them down so I can start to mix them and deal with them. Yeah. Dude, Keyscape is the shit, man. Like, I don't know why anybody... And you know what? Showbot over at VI Control is always like, I don't think it's very good. I'm like, dude, are you crazy? And then listen, dude, listen to this, man. You want to listen to this freaking Rhodes, man. This is a custom Rhodes. I'm only 1 drink in, and we're already at almost 4. Hey, I'm making up for lost time. This might be a 2-hour Farkle Friday. Here's. All right. Yeah. Oh my God, listen to that. I don't know why the graphic isn't changing. Whatever. Yeah, and then for all of us old timers, check out this stuff, man. I don't know why it's not redrawing, but it's not redrawing. It's got that vintage. Yeah, it's so gorgeous. Everything's good about it. So this is gonna tie into what this template that I built is designed for me to freaking learn how to use TSS. And I picked these colors because I'm like, it's just enough colors that I can do something to make something orchestral, but it's not my full template, because my full template, I mean, it takes a while to load. And Studio One is really good. Yeah, the sound is good. You know what? Look, here's what it comes down to, man. By and large, I have yet to feel a Doogie Howser. It's not Hill Street Blues, it's Doogie Howser. By and large, the sounds are now the sounds. It's really hard to do something that absolutely blows you away. By the way, Lazar! Oh, and somebody mentioned Infinite Brass. Dude, after I bought all the Adventure Brass and I bought the 8DO Century Brass because they're running sales, one of my orchestration guys from ThinkSpace played a solo French horn piece, and it was with Infinite Brass, and I'm like, this is some of the best brass I've heard in ages. And he's like, it's one track because it's all like playable. I was like, oh, now I may have to buy Infinite Brass, but that's gonna be for my cinematic thing. I'm not dealing with that right now. But somebody was saying, oh yeah, so check this out. So this is gonna piss off Andrew. Sorry, Andrew. So here's a great example, right? I'm gonna play 2 patches, okay? And I want you to listen to the color of these 2, right? Because it's kind of funny. All right. Because this is what I'm talking about with like a good recording is a good recording. Don't overthink this too much. So here is TSS Violins 1, right? Beautiful tight sound. Right? So let me just check and make sure that's the right thing there. Yeah. Wait. Oh, sorry. Let me add the release tails. We'll get to this in a bit. But ready here. Here's ThinkSpace. Or here's Tokyo Strings. And here's my library, which I was using before. They're not identical, but they're not far off, right? Yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's me kind of messing with it. So that library I just played is Sonic Implants from 20 years ago, right? Okay, back up and do this. Whoops, back up and do it here. It's real close. So what does that mean? Good instruments are good instruments. Good samples are good samples. Having said that, Tokyo Soaring Strings is a really good sample. Yeah, there's more of vibrato on the SI, but if I needed to fake Tokyo Scoring Strings, I could fake it with SI because it's recorded in that closer position. Yeah, I like Tokyo. It's really good, but it was just to show you, it's like a good sample is a good sample. So, Lazar, how you doing? Where's Brad? Oh, I owe Brad a phone call, actually. I got to get him back in on this stuff because I'm this whole January month was me changing all of my workflow. Totally out of context. What was that track where I think Horner made the trumpet struggle so hard? It's Crawl, which I just got the score for. Let's listen to that. See, boy, James, this is welcome to like Farkle Friday, where it's like we may have a concept, we may just go all over the place. Here, let me. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like but here's the last part of this thing. I did not want to reprogram any more instruments. Like here, I had to pull out Sonic Implants, and I had to re-script everything. Like this is the sustain with the sips, and then I pulled the release tails out, and I make a stack with that. That's how I can get the sound. Whoops. That's how I can get the sound where it's And you have to with every instrument. Like, look, here's my 8-D oboe. I do the same thing. Look, here's the sustain. Here's the staccato. So, like, I didn't want to do that anymore. I was like, let me just buy ones that are freaking key switch program, and I can just deal with them. And then Tokyo Scoring Strings came along, and I was like, oh, good, it's key switch. Let me play this section of the ridiculous, because it's actually funny if you've not heard this. This is apparently the legendary story that when James Horner did Krull, he asked so much out of the horns, they were hanging on for dear life. And they were like in between, Zorro's amazing. People were like, the horn players were going to like the concert master or the contractor and were like, oh my God, can you tell James to take it down a little bit in tempo, man? We're like the horns are dying. And he went to James and he was like, James, man, the horns are their lips are dying. And James was like, oh, fuck the French horns. He's like an asshole back then. But what in the world is Krull? Oh my God. We're gonna do a Krull one of these days. After James Newton Howard did Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, which you need to listen to, there was a sword and sorcery fantasy epic called Krull, which is horrible. I did it on my podcast last year. We commented on Navish Narrow because it's an awful movie. But like most bad movies in the 80s, the director knew it sucked and was like, we got to get some good music in there. So they got like, I think it's the London Symphony. And James Newton Howard built this like Mahlerian epic score. I mean, you got to listen to this thing. I'm going to get to the fanfare. Oh, these are great. It's so cheesy. Like you can see everything's a set. It's like, oh man. But the music, listen to this. And who is it that was asking about the cue? Grim. Dude, listen to the French horns and the strings hanging on for dear life. I love this. Not here. Here it is. this guy's such an asshole. Wait, there's more. You heard the French horns tank that. Oh my god, it is like, yeah, like you could just see the heart attacks happening. It's just like, it's so brutal. Oh, right, you just missed Crow, man, the greatest train wreck in French horn repertoire. So, yeah, no, James, I can't even describe the movie. It's just a freaking fever dream. It's like Legend. If you go and watch, all right, we're doing a Farkle Friday, and we're doing 80s fantasy, and we're gonna do like a two-parter because we need to look at Legend and The Dark Crystal and Krull, and be just like, this is the shit I was raised on. Like, this is the, what's the famous yeah. Oh yeah, man. It's like, dude, I could go off on 80s fantasy. So all right, so yeah, we're all over the place with this. This is a good thing. Legend is a young Tom Cruise and a young Mira, whatever her name is, who's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Tim Curry is the devil. Yeah, that happened. That's a movie. That is, and Jerry Goldsmith did the score, and it's phenomenal. And then guess what Hollywood did? Some asshole in production was like, "Hey, I heard this band called Tangerine Dream, and they're really hot right now. So let's replace Jerry's score with Tangerine Dream." And so now you have this complete dreamy drug trip movie called Legend that then has Tangerine Dream as a score, and they ditched Jerry Goldsmith's score. And if you ever listen to Jerry's score, it's one of his best fantasy scores he's ever written. I know, James. We'll do fantasy. We'll do a fantasy education. What's my favorite James Horner score? I have a funny thing about James Horner. I don't categorically like James Horner like I do Jerry Goldsmith or probably Alan Silvestri. Like Jerry's, I'm like, I'll always listen to his stuff. I love his stuff. But James, I'm like, there's stuff I really don't like that he does. Like, I don't like Titanic. But when I like a James Horner score, I love it. I'm like, when he hits home runs. So I love Aliens, which I think is a fucking fantastic, aleatoric, bonkers sci-fi score. I love Krull because it's just so audacious. Love Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and The Rocketeer are probably, I like his big heroic stuff. So my two that I'd probably have to pick would be Star Trek II and Aliens, with Krull being third place. Oh God, there's Willow. I forgot about Willow. Shit, Willow's so good. That's not fair, man. See, now I'm already up to 5. Lazar. Brian, I saw the Lord of the Rings cartoons, the ones that were rotoscoped and that were built, because I remember the where there's a whip, whoosh, there's a way. I grew up on all that stuff, man. It was great. Braveheart's really good too. See, that's the thing. But then you go listen to Commando. By the way, Arnold is the only action star to have, I think, every major composer of the 80s score his stuff. Goldsmith did Total Recall, Allen did Predator, and James Newton Howard did Commando. Oh, John Williams did not score. John Williams had too much dignity to score an Arnold film. Is it Anthony Daniels plays Legolas' voice? He's perfect for that. Go listen to Commando, because when James Horner shits the bed, he really shits the bed. Let's go find it. YouTube Commando score Horner. So Arnold, 80s Arnold action movie, right? Okay. Right? What are you thinking of? You're thinking of Predator, or the whole, like, that kind of stuff, right? All those kind of, like, all those oxytonic stuff, right? And then you get this shit. James Horner had already done. This is the actual score. He had already done Star Trek 2. He could have got a full orchestra. And this is what he does for Commando. It's literally a Steven Seagal score. Don't get me wrong, man. I love it because it's so cheesy. But it's like, dude, don't tell me James Horner that you can pull it off with an Arnold thing. Yeah, Willow is beautiful. Oh, right, or a Seagal movie, right? A Van Damme or a Seagal movie, totally. It's fucking ridiculous. My girlfriend left Legend of D. Man, that movie is a fever dream, James. Man, it is bonkers weird. Like, it is. And it's funny, I had to grow to love that score because the movie has such baggage. I was like, why is Tom Cruise from Risky Business in this? And he looks like he's wearing like a Prince outfit. And it's just, I think it was Ridley Scott. It was really weird. Music's really good. Jerry Goldsmith. That's what it is. Commando's like, Commando, what is this Fairlight? What is this Synclavier? So that's how I felt when I signed up for the role, and I signed up for it a couple years ago and then let it expire. And so they did this thing where if you buy it for a year, you get to keep 2 synths for free. And I was like, because I have to do one more template where I'm going to use the sound canvas. And then I loaded the X50 and I was like, oh, that's that 90s sound. I mean, listen, there's so much good shit in here, man. I love the Roland environment. I grew up playing Roland keyboards. Like, I played one Yamaha keyboard, and all my other 3 keyboards were all Roland keyboards. And just this kind of stuff. I mean, you can just sit all day and just write cheesy 90s TV stuff with this stuff. It's great. Let's see if there's a... My favorite is when they try to do organs. Check this out, man. It's like... here's the... Yeah. It's like such a digital reproduction of the Gritty Hammond. So cheesy. Yeah, The Hobbit. I'm friends with one of the orchestrators for that, and he has some stories. He's like, man, I was a freaking disaster. And The Lord of the Rings was so... Oh, Peter, just go buy everything from Roland, please. What sound did I have here? I had some sort of bell sound, I think, right? I don't know. I can't even figure out. There's a way to search things by category. That's what I did. That's right. Dude, I'm telling you, man, check out the Roland. This stuff really feels close to the real thing. Like, really close. Oh, my God. All right, let me just get a little bell. Oh, Howard's doing the TV series? Of course he is. Gotta pay those bills, baby. All right, so let's get back to those Roland drum triggers are no joke. If you get up to the $4,000, $5,000 ones, they are just phenomenal. All right, let's get back to what I'm doing. Well, everyone wants to do something Studio One. There's a big pull on this. So this ties into the last little bit. I decided on that tight studio sound, got my libraries, realized I didn't know fuck all about Tokyo scoring strings, realized I need to start learning it. And of course, there's like 2 hours of tutorials and they're really good, but it's like, oh shit, this thing is so fucking complex. And then basically said, all right. I said, all right, what I'm gonna do is Howard Shore. I got some stories about Howard Shore too. he's a character, Brian. There's, He did he lived the high life in New York in the '70s during the Saturday Night Live because he was the band leader for SNL. He partied a lot. I like the fact that the Roland sound set is the electric drums you can actually just run them through your earphones. I'm all about convenience now. I don't care anymore about. Lazar's like, oh, you lucky fucking bastard. All right, so the last part of the puzzle was this. Well, what's that sound? And I just started listening to TV scores, and I started listening. I said, I love anime. I don't know anime that much, and I started listening to really good anime, and then I was like, oh my god, I know like half these composers because they're all like the go-to composers for anime. So Escaflowne is just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, James, you do old school movie night, but listen to this. Like, listen to this. Now, this is actually recorded at a larger stage, but the music for this is so tight. This is Yoko Kanno. She's amazing. She does everything great. But you see, it's got a slightly smaller TV sound. It's still bigger, but it's not like you can really hear the instruments nicely, so I like that. She's a really, really smart orchestrator. Here's your sequence. Yeah, the Japanese composers, they have a different aesthetic, and it's really, boy, that's very Ni no Kuni right there. Exactly. It's not a lot of depth. It's just not the reverberant is quick and tight. So you can hear everything, but there's a nice sense of space. The Ren Fair, yeah. So this is one of the sounds that I'm trying to go for, both in terms of composing and the piano. Beautiful stuff. Now just listen to this theme. This is the main theme. It's actually really good. It's a super cool Lydian theme. Here it is. That's a nice theme. And those runs, yeah, Lydian till the cows come, right? Whatever he's doing, I just know. Yeah, man, like I'm really falling in love with this, and I'm mad that I haven't. Yeah, it's a bit more restrained. You're right. Those 80s scores. So now we're digging into. So like, I'm trying to find my voice, and what I mean by that is, like what influences I'm going to let come out, and how I'm going to also emotionally inform them. And I know for a fact that the Jerry and the Alan sound are my big film score ones, but I don't want to score for that big an ensemble. And then I also know that I love that 80s action adventure sound, which is both Star Trek and the Joseph LaDuca stuff, which is the Hercules stuff. Really fun, tight. And then the anime stuff that I'd always listen to casually and been like, yeah, it's really good stuff. And I have a half dozen pieces kind of under my fingers. And this year, about 6 months ago, I started really diving into it and being like, let me get this going, because I think the 80s action adventure stuff doesn't use the piano like I want to use it, because I'm good at the piano, and the anime stuff and the video game, the JRPG stuff really use the piano. Maybe, Peter, I'm trying to figure that out, you know? I'm trying to get the vocabulary. Most of the vocabulary is more about how they do the formal stuff. So anyways, yeah, it's kind of swashbuckling kind of stuff. Grim says it sounds like they focus more on recording instead of mixing. I think so. I think what they did was, remember, here in the US, the focus on post-production really exploded in the early 2000s when you had a bunch of studio musicians like, and not just Hans Zimmer, Trevor Rabin, and some of these other guys coming in and being like, well, we're just going to produce the hell out of this stuff, and we're going to layer and stack and, you know, run compressors on it and distressors and saturators. I feel like the Japanese anime guys were like, get a great room, put the great performers in, mic them so you can hear everything, and go. You know? Yeah, 80s adventure uses that, like, or that kind of like, right. And there's a whole school of thought behind that. I actually did that at ThinkSpace where I talk about television music, and you have a smaller budget than a film, so you have to pick instruments where one or two players can slam a spot. Ron Jones calls them the now instruments. So trombones, piano, a single vibe, right? Can do kind of this kind of stuff. And that would have been 5 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So let's play around here a little bit. So this kind of patch that I gave, see, this is what I like about having these little lean things, is going to be probably more introspective, right? Why am I feeling this like super like kind of wistful thing? Life's good. I'm drinking. I'm hanging with you guys and girls. Mm. I agree with you, Lazar. In the U.S., the approach is here's a mic pressure cord, I'll fix it afterwards. Yeah, I'll tell you a story, and I've got that lick in my head, so I can already play with that. Well, that's the other thing. I've done so much EIS stuff, was really advanced. I'm like, well, just doing 1-4-5 is boring. No one wants to do that. It's treacly, it's trite, and I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. If you want to say a wistful piece, frickin' say it. That's kind of a cool variation. There's a story, my buddy Dave, who's a big heavy metal bass player, is really good actually. He was up in New York working with a guy, and he got to sit in on a who's the one who dated Ben Affleck? Not Jennifer Garner, the pop star. You know who it is. Who is it? Do a 1-2-5. Yeah, do it backwards. Yeah, dude, it's the rant's coming. It was Jennifer Lopez. And she was singing her new single. This back in like 2000, whatever, 10, 9, 8, whatever. And Dave's listening, and she's a train wreck. Her like timing is off. Her pitch is just fucking awful. And they recorded for like 2 hours. She's doing all the various, the harmony parts. And they finish, and Dave looks at his buddy, and he's like, dude, that is a fucking waste of 2 hours. And it was like a big studio. It was like Avatar or something like that. He's like, it's so fucking, there's nothing salvageable. And the guy was like, don't worry about it. He started opening up Pro Tools. Out came the Melodyne. Out came the cutting and they basically spent the rest of the day stitching together her performance, and it was like a top 10 pop tune. So it's like Dave was like, that was when I first got to see the world of like the New York and the LA music scene nowadays. No longer is it like put a mic in front of Nat King Cole and he's just gonna tune to the strings because he's got phenomenal ear. Nah, that didn't worry about it, right? It's like, oh boy. So that's Hans's thing. Yeah. Which is a shame because, man, the energy of a live performance. All right. So let's see here. Let me play around here. Because the thing I'm trying to play around is the idea of this nostalgic, piano-driven anime music. Do I want to add the third? Yeah. That's cool. All right, I guess I'm in Copeland mode today. Yeah, that's it. So look, this is the first tentative steps of Farkle playing what he finds beautiful to my composing buddies. It's like it's a little scary. It's like what if what I'm writing is treacly and shitty? There's a guy who's a Catholic piano new age composer, and his stuff is really treacly. And I was like, I don't want to be a treacly composer, man. I want to All right, I'm just getting my tempo. Probably like oh, thanks, Peter. I'm not good. I spent 4 years shedding through EIS. That was really, really helpful. So, and I share some of those ideas with the TSC team. And I try to be very simple. Now, this is a piano sketch. Well, as we have to go to the strings, it's going to be a little bit different. Let's try 90. Let's try 92 for this. And by the way, this is so funny. I don't know if Calvin or Matt is here. They were like, oh, Studio One, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, Studio One's not doing what I wanted to do at all. I don't know why. It's like equal interval system. We'll talk about another. Actually, I am doing a Farkle Friday and equal interval system in early February because the head instructor, Charmat, has been hitting me up for 6 months. So I'll do a Farkle Friday where I will do one of these lessons, like kind of just to show you it. It's really cool. And even if you never do EIS, you can take that lesson and it will help you balance your 4-part and 5-part voice leading for the rest of your life. You can use it for orchestration. It's gonna be awesome. Let's Here's where we have fun. I'm playing a D major with this beautiful little fifth, and then I vary it. Now I can take that D major and make it a D sus underneath. Or I can make it a D sus 2. And then you get kind of an A over D. Let's play with it. Have some fun with it. Yeah, I like that. No, dude, it's not 4-part writing. Fuck that box shit. Dude, it's awesome. Like, it is, if you've ever seen some of my speed writing shit, like, there's one where I did this, yeah, dude, no offense, Grimman, I feel so bad because I don't want to belittle any of the thing that you worked on. 4-part traditional classical harmony, in my opinion, is a colossal waste of time. Like for modern day composers, it's a fucking waste of time. And I feel terrible because everybody does it. In the classical if you're doing 4-part jazz writing, that's completely useful. But anyways, what happened with that movie? Yeah, I finished Vampires on a Boat. I finished that like last summer or something like that. I'm gonna do a Farkle Friday on that at some point. All right, let's get that. All right, we'll just play this here. I think I'm too fast. No, I'm too slow. It's okay. In MIDI, always good to go a little slower. So I like to sketch as dry as possible. Look at my, so much shit. Let me hide the instruments. Who's using Studio One here? Yeah, dude, the Bach cock shows up. Fuck that shit, exactly. Yeah, dude. Like, everything you want to write isn't allowed. Fuck that shit. It's just bullshit. I went to school for 3 degrees, and then I studied EIS. The first 2 were classical, during which I was playing jazz on the side and stuff like that. The third one was a jazz one. The third one, which was NYU, was hold on 1 second. Hey, Angel, what's up? Okay, awesome. Yes, I'm in the middle of my YouTube Farkle Friday. Can you do me a favor? Can you ping Mom and see if Mom can come get you? And if not, come and call me back and we'll figure something out, okay? Okay, but call Mom first, okay? Thanks. I love you. Can't wait to come on up when you're done because the crew's hanging out. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. And I love you. So, by the way, I use 2 things. You can see it down here. I use Studio One, which is over here somewhere, and I use Reaper. I love them both. I did Reaper. They're both fantastic. So there it is. Oh, I don't want to do that. So you'll see. Look, here's my whatchamacallit, my mixing console. Right now, when I'm sketching, I just don't have any sends. These are all my outputs, and I have 2 reverbs ready to go. Reaper is free, and after a month, you get a nag, but you can buy it for $60. Yeah, James, Studio One to mix and Cubase to score is a nice solution. I have not scored with Studio One yet, and I'm going to have to this year because I'm going to have to do cinematics in here. Yeah, dude, no, Anvil's right, man. It's cheap as fuck. $60 if you're a hobbyist. And even when you go, like, I bought it and then spent $60, and 6 months later up to the commercial, and it was $225. It was fucking nothing. It was nothing. And the only downside is this: the plugins that come with it are really powerful, but they're ugly as sin. And they don't have those emulators like a Pultec or a Neve emulator. So what you got to do is, if you buy Reaper, first off, you got to subscribe to Reaper TV because it's a pretty confusing. It's so customizable. It's pretty confusing, but there's crazy shit you can do with it. Then go to KVR Audio and find like a half dozen free plugins that are legal, and then you get like a couple of free EQ plugins like a Pultec and a Neve. Get maybe an LA2A. They're all these, or pay them for like $10-15, and maybe get like vintage Valhalla reverb, a couple of reverbs there, and you'll end up spending about $200 or $300 for some plugins, and then you'll be all set. The plugins that Reaper have. Yo, what's going on, Chris? Grim is so right. During the glory days of 32-bit composing. Let's see what the hell I wrote here. Here's why I don't like pouring effects from the get-go. I want to make sure my raw sounds are freaking good. Here's what, by the way, who's my Studio One nerds? Who composes in Studio One? Yeah, Valhalla's worth $50. That's absolute shit. Farkle trick number 1. I took the glissando script, exposed, key D pentatonic. Oh no, I gotta do G pentatonic, right? I use, now this is a quick and dirty one. I use 2 harps. I have VSL harp, which I love with a script, and then there's one called either Angelic Harp or, well, let me find it. It's pretty good too. I have 2 harps loaded, and I just kind of go back and forth between them. It is not that. Let's look at Farkle's library. Let's see if we can find the porn. Angelic Harp. That's the other one I use. Look what Emil said. It's like, it's so hideous. You just have to write. It is. By the way, I also have not balanced this at all. I'm just playing around here. I'm having fun. And then we're gonna get into things. I'm gonna get the scoring strings. That'll work. And then you know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna practice what I preach. We're gonna go. Now, scoring strings, I like what I'm seeing here because it does a couple of things. It does, see, this is why I'm finally starting to get into this stuff. They're finally putting in their GUI the shit that I would do behind the scenes with my custom instruments. I need my instruments to go to Niente. And so here, look, it's still going here, right? But now watch this. This is the dynamics. I watched this in one of the tutorials. I can really exaggerate. Oh, wait. There's even something cooler. I believe I can do a Niente. Yeah. Fucking scripting. Can't stand it. Oh, can you hear me on this? Fucking A, I knew it. Yeah, dude. I am going to send this to Andrew and be like, dude, because actually Nabil, who programmed this, uses Studio One, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like that's a scripting error. Here's what happens. You see this little Z that I'm pressing in Studio One? Yeah, man. God damn it. Fucking A. And this is why I script my own shit, because my shit doesn't do this. Fucking A. I won't use Niente, but I'm gonna ping Nabil and be like, dude, you gotta watch this. I can really break this shit. So check it out. Hold on a sec. That's what Kate's doing. All right, cool. I'm just making sure that my girls are good back. Okay. All right. So I was gonna say this. Whoever plays Studio One, see this little Z up here? Watch. I'm gonna do this real fast. I'm gonna go to shorts. I'm just gonna press some shorts. Now watch the child. I'm gonna hit the keys and listen to how long it takes to get the hit. So it's like, that's because I've got dropout protection maxed, right? What this Z does is it takes whatever instrument you're playing, see how it turns green, and pushes it to a different multi-core. It pushes it to a different core and makes that super low latency. So now look. So what you can do is when you're playing the stuff in, you can play it with really low latency, and then when you turn it off, it goes back and it doesn't suck up all the it's the zero latency. Cubase has a variation of it. So here, let's bring in the cellos. I'm just gonna freaking Divisi. Who cares? I'm sketching. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm starting to have some fun here. Studio Dog. Yeah, Oziogard. It's the same thing. Yep, exactly. Oh, Studio Dog has arrived. He's learned that he can get his paws up here. Oh, latency. Latency is, James, the amount of time it takes from when you press the key on your MIDI keyboard to run into your DAW for your DAW to trigger the sample and to run back out. The lower the latency, the more springy your performance is because it doesn't have a lag, but the more it beats up your processor. So I want you to watch. I'm going to play these violins. Watch. I'm going to play these violins, and I want you. Oh God, Duke is such a fucking Duke. I want you to look at my performance meter in the lower left, which is down there. Okay, sorry, Duke's eating the shit out of me. So here, watch this. Now this is with super high latency. See how my performance is going to like 10%? Now watch. I'm going to go to low latency. Watch my performance meter spring. Okay, not a big deal, right? Yeah, now have 13 contact instruments playing right now. Get the dog stream. So that's what latency is. There's a whole thing on that, but we'll get to that in a sec. I'm trying to write something here. I guess, you know what? I'll write it when it's time. Everybody's having a good time seeing Farkle. I missed you guys and girls too. This is fun. Okay. Kiss you later. One sec. Give me a sec, guys and girls. I have to. Oh, Studio Dog. Give me a sec, because Kate's like the. All right. Have a good weekend, Brian. Dude, you can go watch more of this. So, and I'm getting back because I'm getting back to some writing. Okay. All right. I told Sarah, I was like, I'm on the podcast. It's a green light downstairs, meaning like you can call, but like don't like go hog wild. I'm trying to get this stuff done. Let's play with. All right, here we go. Yeah, James, I'm so happy you're here because you're having a lot of fun being like, ooh, I got stuff to like play with and stuff like that. And James, these are good fundamental lessons as you start to become a mini mock-up guru. I'll help with the fridge. Leave that for me. Because Sarah went shopping today and she was really, really nice. James, you're getting some really good. Bye, Brian. Take care, brother. You don't have to focus. I don't care. I'm having fun. As long as you guys and girls are having fun. Let's listen to this here. I'm gonna start to play a little bit. This. Oh, all right. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna happen. What the? Not sports. Oh, jeez. Okay, fine. Whoa. Oh, right. It's all velocity. Now, look, I'm not using this in the way I want to use it later, which is the look ahead, which is really impressive. I'm just using this more traditional, but that's all right. Who cares? Right, let's record this. I'm just having fun with this. And I'm doing the nostalgic piano shit. Nope, that's a crappy. Yep, it's gotta be the A. Why? Because I said so. This is kind of fun, actually. I never write like this. Yeah, they're locked. So I have to use Contact 6 Player for them because I don't want to get Contact 6 because I need to be able to load and unload stuff in Contact 5 from Giga Studio because I have old Giga libraries. Oh yeah, Lazar, we'll do a roast. I gotta get back in touch with Brad. I feel guilty that I'm doing this. It's like all like pretty and long, and I was like, I always talk with you guys and girls about having more motion, but let me be disciplined. Oh, let's do the Japanese thing where they do the the mix is all off on this, but that's okay. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Liam, what's going on? Mark, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Happy New Year. Fuck, Sarah's now the floodgates have been opened. Pour yourself a beverage and come up here and join me. You might get a Sarah. I'm writing pretty music. She loves me when I do pretty music. You'll like it. All right. Let's do a B section. Yeah, right? Well, tough shit. I only have an oboe today. I think I'm actually writing something. I'm just writing. I'm just writing to be an artist. I just literally grabbed a theme and came up with. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little B section. And this is what pisses me off about this current template. I really need a pair of sketch strings, but I'm going to have to actually figure it out line by line, which is fine. I can do it. There's something there with the violas, and I have to concert them too. Oh, God, and then I got to, all right, you know what? For the purposes of this, I'm going to unconsordino because I know I don't know how to set this thing up yet with I got to set up automation on all this shit, you know. So I'll just do this. So we'll just. I'm just messing around. So let's do a B section, and I'll have the. make the freaking violas do that shit. They hate doing that kind of shit. Yeah, let's be pretty. Let's be pretty today. I want to be pretty. That's a little something. All right, now let's do let's go back to the piano for sketching. And this is a little bit ham-fisted because I'm kind of orchestrating at the piano, and I like to get but whatever. You guys have never seen me kind of do this in a while. Where I'm just like this is the new and improved Farkle. That's right, Grim. I'm pretty. I'm having fun. It's good to mess around like this. We haven't done this in ages. Oh, that was the problem. Let me record that one more time. I forgot to set up the Ozio guard, so it actually. And dude, I'm gonna go over to VIC Discord afterwards, and I'm gonna tag Nabil and Sarah Beck. Go and watch my Farkle Friday, because when you go to Niente in Studio One, I get these pops, and it's a repeatable thing, and like that needs to be addressed. Oh, I forgot the reason. Also, the other reason it's driving me nuts is I haven't set up the range to make it more dramatic. Let's see if the pop happens here. Maybe it's just okay, good. So it's not violence 2, it's a scripting error and let's try it again. Let's see if we can screw this thing up again. Oh. Ellen 1. So it's the cellos. It's the cellos. That's what the problem is. Let's do this again. Let's blow up my $1,000 speakers. Cellos. What's the time code on this? I want to be able to say exactly where it is. Somebody just put where the time code is, please, if that's cool. Oh, Lazar, that's such great news, man. Just wake up at 2 a.m. Just write what you love, you know? Yeah, like, why not, man? Well, there's so many times we have to write to the brief. That's happening. Okay. About an hour 50. Whatever. I'll guess what? Impact Sound is going to fix it. Andrew and I are like really close friends, so I can like, thank you, Alistair. It's awesome. So when I kind of go to the head of the class with him. I'm fun with this. Let's get the piano. Let's do a B section here. As long as you guys don't mind here, I'm really inspired in this. I can do that, but I need to get to. So here's the question. What am I saying musically here? There's something beautiful and wistful and innocent here. Yeah, exactly, James. Drop at the bass. Drop at the TSS bass. Oh man, Lazar, I'm so happy you had that moment. Dude, strings. Now, what in my B section? I'm going to do the oboe. What am I going to do? I want something sad and beautiful. I want something sad and pretty. You know who did this really well is Michael Kamen in Mr. Holland's Opus. Okay. I'll pick up Kate at 30. I'll bring Kate. Come pick her up, and you're done. Then come join us. Sorry, we're doing Welcome to Being a Dad. Never finished Clone Wars. No, I have not. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. Now I gotta get to a different key area. And this is where the it feels obvious. Oh yeah, and by the way, my 8 oboe has to be sent to a reverb. It's so freaking dry. Like I have to do that. Yeah, there's a really cool trick that Anvil was telling me, Matthias was telling me. I may do that, but right now, I'm right. Don't blend your steps too much. Okay. I'll take over from here. After your last trip. Or we get Kate an Uber account. All right. Look, now my wife has distracted me. Listen, I'm in a good place composing wise. Either put Kate in Uber or go get her. And I'll take over. You see, now you're expanding your after that. Welcome to being a married dad with a teenage daughter. So let me get back to this. By the way, this is why I like writing stuff, because now I'm hearing it over and over again and my ears are getting fatigued. Don't mix your steps of composing too much. I'm already mixing orchestration and composing. Don't put mixing in on this. That way lies madness. Stop that. I really want some of those hot jazzy chords they do in the... There's a... I can't do that. Matt Campbell is way too much spice for me. That's what it is. That's got some wistful. Yeah, Graham. I don't do this, but I'm just fucking I don't care. Like, yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Alyssa, I think those were great scores in the 90s. Absolutely. Yeah, this is actually why, Peter, this is actually why I usually go into Sibelius. But everyone want to see Farkle do shit in Studio One. what? It's okay, but who cares? It's just a sketch. Who cares? I'm gonna add some strings. I'm gonna do a Farkle Friday that goes from piano to short score. That's gonna help you out, Matthias. And when I do the EIS, it's gonna totally help you figure that out. Trust me. Oh yeah, I got it. There you go. Little. Yeah, I want to get back into doing this twice a month at minimum. I'm just voicing the strings. Yeah, it's true. But now I've got the Fridays freed up. Different. Gonna work. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, I know. Lazar, they should be muted, but because I don't know how to use this library yet, because literally the first time I play with it, I'm just not doing it muted. Violas, then polyphonic division, and I'm not using this to its best extent. Low latency. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm liking this Tokyo sound, and I'm farting around it, and it's just kind of at unison. Man, this is there's something to this, man. There's a little bit of an Ariel's theme there, Aris theme, but it's fine. I don't care. Oh, if I gotta get more familiar with this string library. There's something to this though. Yeah, that click is really loud. Let me bring down the click. I think it's the click. Let me bring it down a little bit because I don't need it to be that loud by any stretch. I actually used to have. Did I have it here? I had the Yuri click. I have it. I just haven't loaded it in. Oh, because it's the new one. Yeah. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. You think? No. Like, don't don't overwrite this. Let the piano be the piano. You know? God. But I will double this. Glock with synth is a nice doubling. And I'll mix it later. Ooh, there's some vibrato in that. Just playing around, having fun with this. It's really, you want me to roll the piano? You want me to do this? Maybe another harp list because you gotta do that. Really leaning on the heartstrings. Luke only would be proud over at Spitfire. Karma would be proud. Yeah, because you know we're gonna actually do. You know we're gonna actually bring back the thing in the strings. I'm gonna take the piano part. I'm gonna put it in the strings. Look, the purpose of this particular template wasn't to do exactly this. Was to start figuring out what the fuck's going on with the Tokyo scoring strings. See if I like the volume. Bye, James. James, it was so good seeing you, man. Thanks for having fun with the Farkle Friday. You learned some stuff. This is like a budget mixing whiskey. It's called Evan Williams. It's fine. It's fun. Have a great night, James. Have a great weekend, brother. I'll be back, well, for Think Space and also other stuff. It's a good mixing whiskey. It does the job. Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, we already found a major fucking bug, which is like, dude, when you set the thing up, you do the end, you get a nasty pop. Man, I really like this library. God, look, this has got that. Well, one thing I'll say about Impact Soundworks, and I have a lot of good things. I really have nothing negative to say about them. I have like 4 of their libraries. They script the hell out of their libraries. Like their scripting is really some of the best in the business. I know, but I have the good stuff downstairs. I've got an Abalur that Alistair recommended to me, and I've got a Dalmore that I love, and then I've got a nice Basil Hayden bourbon, which I love. So that's the mixing stuff. This is the stuff when you're 3 drinks in, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. You just want to get a little tipsy. You know? Like, I'm not going to sit here and just pound good whiskey the entire night when I'm on, like, drink 4. All right, let's build this. We all want to hear the 2D string section, right? So let's freaking do this. And now I'm mad because now I don't know how to switch back and forth between oh, god damn it. I don't want to fucking do it today. All right, hold on a second here. What I need to do is this. I need to go in here. I need to set this legato mode to an automation. I need to like turn it off and on. I don't want to fucking. Let me see. Give me a sec. If I can fake it with this for the purposes of this Farkle Friday. Oh my god, the latency is fucking horrible. Yeah, man. Dude, and I love Karma. I'm friends with him, and I love Spitfire's sound a lot of times. But when I go and start playing with their, I'm like, this shit is fucking unplayable. It's like, it's so, and the scripting isn't good. I don't like the scripting. Impact Soundworks, this is very playable, but you got to go watch the tutorials because they're not designed this to be like quick and playable. Like when I load my Symphonia patches, it's playable. They're like, no. We're actually designed so you kind of program it into the grid, and then you do the look ahead latency, and then it just kind of it organizes itself, and it's really good. Yeah, Alistair got me. McKellen's good. The Abalor, Alistair turned me on to the Abalor. It was so good. All right, let's have some fun here. Again, the first time playing with this. What's my line? For a second, I thought it was a bad. All right, let's see. ATO does the same thing. The way they fix libraries, they do more libraries. Wow. Latency's kicking my ass. That's right, whatever. It's close enough. They get the Hollywood Register, which is pretty nice. Right. I'm working out a simple accompaniment figure. That's gonna be the counter line because we're gonna do that. That's gonna be that. Now I'm doing the shit I always tell you guys not to do. Screwed it up. That's why, because if you write it out, you can always tell. And now I'm playing it 4 times for the collection's written out, see? I always say don't write into the DAW. Always write on the paper because you can just because look, I just played that 4 times where if I look at the page I could have just written it once and been done with it. Don't orchestrate and write in the DAW. Write on the page, see what's going on. You can see the spacing. Now I'm trying to remember the spacing. And I'm looking at my piano and I'm doing this, and now I'm burning brain cells for no good reason. Stupid. Whatever, I don't care. So now I'm drunk. I'm mad drunk. So let's see here. That's gonna be a little motor, a little ostinato. No, the latency's fucking with me. Because this is. This is turning into a fucking train wreck because Tokyo Scorchers is not supposed to be doing this. Let's go to 0 latency. Let's just fucking do it. Good. This is good enough for tonight. Now we're doing something. Quiet, you. No clarinets today. What was I playing? I'm going for the Lush Divisi thing, which I'll deal with later because I'm just sketching right now. It's time to bring in. Oh, right. I'm going to the B. I'm reharmonizing. Round robin legato. You can do it with scripting. Sips does that. Sips can do repeated round robin legato, but it has to be scripted. Well, it doesn't have to be scripted. I asked Sarah Mancuso about because she did some amazing re-scripting of Aetio's Adagio. Amazing, like some of the best re-scripting I've seen in a while. I was like, damn, girl, you got that shit going on. Like, make it horns, make it adventure horns. See, now I forgot what the voicing is. Let's get some motion. Nope, it's not gonna go there. I gotta go to an A there. I just forgot what it was. Good night, Chris. Good meeting you, man. I'll see you. Yep. Yeah, man, we got a 1-to-1 next Friday. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, Studio Dog has arrived. Let's listen to what we got here. I'm just screwing around. Oh, Studio Dog. Hello. Yeah, it's pretty. That theme is a nice. You know that's coming. This harp script that comes with Contact is bonkers good. I'll tell you why it's so good. Yep, there's the octave. messed that up. Yeah. Let's but also have a good one on the children. Some what kind of libraries do you recommend for Copeland Sound? I don't know. Actually, probably the ATOs are probably pretty good for that. They're probably a good one. The Century, like I like a smaller library now. So Century Strings is it's like 88642. You can actually do a lot of good stuff with that. This Tokyo Score Strings is pretty darn good. I'm liking the sound. Lazar, this is coming along great. I would start with some high strings and have them fade out as the harp come in. Yeah. Like, look, this is just like farting around. I'm having some fun. I'm just like jumping in and going. Like, I would start with some sort of like high, like tremolos. And then. A love so pure, you would kill for it. What a shitty idea. All right, I'll see you next week, man. All right. This is nice. It's nice. I'm just farting around with like yeah. Yeah. Now you copy this because now it's gonna work. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like Takamitsu. I like him. I can't listen to him a lot because he's so aggressive, but not aggressive. He's got a really, but he's crystalline. It's like it's like a Japanese garden. And when you want that sound, he's the dude, man. He is the dude. Let's see. And this is completely unmixed. It's totally. You know what? Because it's 5 o'clock and I'm gonna have to start to wrap up fairly soon. Let's have some fun. Let's do a quick little mix pass just to going on. Let's just see what we can do with this. Let's go to the R4. I haven't played with this ever. So this is literally just like, hey, let's see what the hell Farkle's doing. Let's go with, see, everyone does a hall, but sometimes a chamber works really well. Keyword, large, medium chamber. Preset, medium chamber. The hell? Let's go with a light Y medium chamber. Why not? What the hell do these terms mean anyways? Yeah, Lazar, what a great combo for these two guys. Thick chamber. Let's go for a medium tight chamber. What's a bongo chamber? What the hell is this? Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. All right. Duke, get out. Duke. Get over here. Ripley's being a spaz. Duke, get over here. Hey, get over here. And let's do this. Let's see what happens. We're just gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna highlight these 5. I'm gonna add a send to the R4. Right? We're gonna dial it in. I want to hear what the hell it sounds like. I'm gonna mute all this shit. Not that. Not you, her, the one who hit the ball. For those of you who haven't seen 90s stuff. It's a nice sound. Now let's have some fun with this, because why not? I'm going to go to a browser, and I'm going to go to a haul, and I'm gonna do a large. I'm gonna do a medium haul, because why not? I'm gonna blur stuff together. Where is this thing? I haven't used this thing either. So 100% mix. Shit. Mix or go home. I'm just playing around now, because I'm kind of wrapping down with the. Oh man, there is some serious. There's some serious resonance in that. I gotta fix that shit. Oh yeah, you get a little quick little Farkle mixing tutorial, which is like cut shit like you wouldn't believe. Sorry, guys and girls. Welcome to the world of Farkle mixing. We gotta fucking find that shit and cut the shit out of it. There we go. There's one more bad spot. There you go. There's some serious. Yeah, you can do a dynamic EQ with it. How do I hear these things? I don't know. Years of this shit. Matthias is saying a really good thing you can do, which I'll do right now. Actually, it's kind of cool. You can turn this into a dynamic EQ, and then it basically clamps down when stuff gets real resonant, and it can be really useful to be a little more natural. See, it's basically a multiband compressor. Good. Oh my god, the size of that room in that. What's the time of that thing? 6 seconds? Jesus God. Or else let's bring it down to like 3. Now we'll go back to this. I'm just screwing around. I want to hear how this thing sounds. Yeah, you do that. Ooh, I was able to get I gotta drop that down a little bit. Some nice. That's some nice reverb. Did I just mute everything? Oh, because I muted everything. Sorry. Oh my god, Keysheep just takes reverb like a boss. It's just like, yeah, just. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just having fun with it. I'm not. This is not a mixing pass. This is what half building a template is. That's too chordy. I need to make more motion in there, but I don't know how to do it with TSS yet. There it is. I'll be close enough. Yeah, just trying to get the sound. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right. I'm gonna start wrapping up too because it's 5:30. I mean, it's just 3. It's 2.5 hours. It's good Farkle. Good Farkle. Good welcome back, Farkle Friday. So let me answer the last little bits of things. Grim, how do you hear these things? In a future Farkle Friday, I'll show you. Basically, you do something called a sweep and a cut. It's a really common thing. What you're basically doing is you're trying to find frequencies that poke out and annoy you, and you sweep them with a massive boost, like a 10 decibel boost. Then when you find it, you cut it. And that what happens is it starts to sculpt the sound. Also, there are just some rules in general. Like most instruments, you low cut the stuff unless it's the low bass instruments because you just don't want all that mud down there. Yeah, no, we can work on that. It's not that hard. You saw me. It's not that hard. Matthias was like, you do a cool trick with makes it work like a compressor. Yeah, that sounded tinnitus. Oh yeah, you can do the high shuffle for the whole range. Yeah. Rob, what's going on, Rob? Low cut on side and high cut on mid can help with the wide. Yeah, I gotta learn about this. The mid-side stuff I do not know. I do not know the nuances of that kind of stuff. This isn't a bad test. Let's just listen to this. Oh, and as long as we're fucking doing this, let's just do the shit that I always talk about. Let's do the saturation. Oh, where's my mastering shit? Oh God, there's something. I don't even know what these plugins do. Not this, whatever the hell this is. Saphira, it's some sort of mastering plugin. Matthias, you're so right. 200 hertz, 400 hertz. Also, you'll see things at like 700 to 800 hertz, 1100 hertz, and 1800 hertz. These are kind of a thing. All right, this is something that apparently does something. I don't know what. Let's see what this does. I don't know. I use ozone. Oh, adds a little saturation. Yeah. Nah, that's not what I want. All right, time to go to ozone. Come on, ozone. Do what you gotta do, brother. Let's get a preset, because who the hell cares? Genre specific. Let's see what we got here. It's just for fun. Who cares? When I'm trying to really master it, I'll like dive into it. But general clarity. Jesus, they're adding EQ. Yeah, man, Lazar, and man, fucking Ennio Morricone just brought it to the best. You hear the squash there. hear just like the high frequency exciting there. It's like, oh God, it's too much. All right. Close. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it a couple minutes. I'm not farting around. I haven't farted around with Studio One in like 9 months. I love it, shit. Nice little lift there. That's nice. What kind of EQ is that? Something going on around here. I gotta play with 1800 hertz. I told you, it's all. There it is. There's some legs to this piece. That's not bad. Yeah, we'll call it at that point. I love the oboe. It's so much. Presets, use presets. I use. Jesus, Bill. You coming in, you probably have a glass of red wine, and you're like, now I'm going to get surly. How about a challenge for the next Farkle Friday? I don't know. Next Farkle Friday is a challenge. Yeah, well, it'll be in 2 weeks, right? How about we amp it up? We do a roast of your own. Rose, what's up, Angel? How are you? Nice to see you. Oh, thank you, my dear. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this was just a little idea about 2 hours ago and kind of farted around. Just little sketches. However, here's the problem. I fall into the territorial drama of my hands driving the music. And you can hear it. It's kind of like a pianistic thing that's been converted to strings. So this is why, as much as I love doing this, and I do want to have my DAW up and running, I do love writing to the notes because I can see what's going on and I can make it more orchestral. This is more of a, but it's fine. Like, you know, I'm here to have fun. Like, and this is kind of fitting that brief a little bit. Oh, I missed you too, my dear. Well, I'm back on VIC controls. Matter of fact, I'm going to hop on VIC after this and I'm going to bitch about Tokyo scoring strings because there's a major scripting problem when you go to Niente. You get pops like really bad. Yeah. Oh, Bill, thanks, man. I'm glad. I like it. It's yeah, you know, and you know what? There's nothing. Look. Here's the other thing. So I take this little thing that I did, right? This little and I've got to sketch some ideas. So now I go back to Sibelius and I actually, you know, so I do all that stuff, right? You know? Yeah, I'm back on the VI. I'm back on VI Discord. I've done a good job of dodging all political discussions and all musical discussions. Now I just sit and I'm just surly. It's great. So, well, I got a big arguments about the validity of Hans Zimmer, and everyone was talking past each other, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because I was like, this isn't fun. More fun to do this stuff. But yeah, you're right. Like, why not go? What's wrong with taking this and just saving it and then going back at a later date and being like, okay, I've got this. And be like, well, now let me orchestrate it out with the, you know, like you can do all those real detailed things and everything. The Hans Zimmer will come at another time. So here's what my plan is. I freed up all of Fridays. I'm going to start with just every other week. The validity of exactly. I might end up doing it weekly. I have a lot of fun doing this, and it just kind of and as I'm working on album tracks, it'd be kind of fun to be like, all of us composers, this is why I think space is so good. No matter how good we are, and I'm not saying I'm not even that good, we all need to be like, all right, listen to this. What am I doing wrong? Or like, why is this not working? Or I think this is working. My favorite time period of composing was that impressionistic era in 20th century. and the other one was the New York jazz scene in like the 40s and 50s, because that's what they're all doing. They're all just getting together and being like, hey man, what are you doing here? And you're doing, kind of stuff, and everyone's just kind of, I love that reverb. You got to be social to be a composer. You have to. And this is a bit of my socialness, because there's no composers in Philadelphia. Brian's like the closest person. He's in Connecticut, and this is also kind of fun. You get a chance to see all this stuff and all that kind of cool jazz. Wait, wait, for the next Farkle Friday, what's the challenge? Do you want to have some? You want to do a little roasty thing? Do you want to like submit some stuff? We can have some fun with it. We could do that. Absolutely. Sarah's done. She just poured herself a Tullamore Dew. Here's the challenge for next week. The challenge for next week is to write there's only one in Philly. It's true. There's like, oh, no kidding, Rose. I love Tom Sperger's stuff. That dude is so on point. He's so good. He's so good. Give me a sec. We'll do this because I'm going to forget this if I don't do this. Sorry, I'm going to kill the display settings. I got to go back to 100% because it's driving me nuts to see this. It's what I did for you guys and girls because I love you guys. There we go. That's some sort of cyberpunk kind of thing that I was dealing with. I would do this. Do you want to do next week, or do you want to, maybe next week, but if not, then in 2 weeks, definitely. I've freed up. I think I can do next week. I don't think I have anything. I don't know yet what I'm going to do for Farkle Fridays in general, except that we already have a Goals with Farkle Friday, a Contact Farkle Friday. Oh, Jesus. All right, Matthias, just ping me in Discord with all this list, because I just did a whole bunch of things, and I was like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and we'll do it all. But now you know what my year's project is going to be, is to like really develop this sound, this kind of anime / tight TV action adventure meets anime tight TV scoring, very agile stuff. Building this very tight studio sound with right now my major libraries that I'm going to commit to are Tokyo Scoring Strings, the Warm Studio Woodwinds by ATO, together with the Claire Flute, because I like the Claire Flute a lot. Adventure Brass with some supplements, and Virtu Orchestra and Cineperk Orchestra, and then Voxos for choir. So now you have my new thing. Farkle Friday challenge, really easy. Write an ABA, 8-bar, 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 ABA ternary thing that describes an emotion. And the emotion can be anything you want. Anger, excitement, will to win, whatever. Make it short, 24 bars, ABA. So you do, don't worry about an intro. Like literally, like think about Star Trek, right? Then he repeats it. So it's AABA. Like that's all like swashbuckly adventure. Go for it. But make it 24 bars, because 24 bars is manageable. Right? Rose, I'm gonna go listen to Magic because you recommended it. Yeah, have fun with it. And you know what? If all you do is come back with a piano sketch and it's got that like fine, it's a piano sketch, who cares? Yeah, go for 888, because that's a ternary form, right? If it ends up being 16, 16, 16, that's okay, but 888 is going to be very, very, and you can go watch my Farkle Friday how to write an 8-bar theme, because I talk about that. And for all you TSEers, I do a more involved one on TSE, which you paid for, which is how to write an 8-bar theme. That's a little more in depth, because you paid for it, so you get more. How's that? Just have fun. You want to do it next week? Maybe Farkle Friday next week? Maybe I'll post on that. All right. So that'll be fun, right? 24 bars, boom. And think about it, because it's so easy with an ABA, the minute you write the A theme, you're like, oh, I'm just going to repeat it, but I'm going to add a choir. Or I'm going to repeat it, but I'm going to add a string counterline. Like, it becomes easier because it's not like I have to rewrite 8 bars. You're like, no, you don't. Just add one percussion. You just want the same as before, but bigger. Right? Yeah, 16, 16. Well, no, 888 is a number of bars, right? Or are you fucking with me, Grim? like 8 bars of A, 8 bars of B, 8 bars of A. Yeah, well, fun roast. Oh, so you know who I need to get? It's time for me to call Brad. Time for me to like patch up the divorce. Brad and I haven't had a divorce. It's been great. He's just been fucking busy. He's working over at Ava. He's so busy. Also, I'm scared of Brad. He's a much better orchestrator than I am. All right. So that's that. Let's do it. Maybe next Friday. I think next Friday will work. It'll be fun. By and large, my Fridays are free. I've got a couple of Fridays that are pretty brutal. Like Good Friday, I'm screwed. Like I'm just going to live at church. All right, Rose, I'm going to check out Magic, and I'm going to check out Love Theme Lazar. Is that right? All right, cool. Yeah. Hey, this was fun. I hope you all had fun just sitting, drinking, and watching me. This was exciting and a little nervous to be like, I'm going to write what Farkle thinks is kind of pretty, and I now I got to figure out how to write what's kind of like fantasy epic. If I ever write the yeah, exactly, dude. Grim, you weren't at the ThinkSpace Discord, which is one for when you're a student. Cedric posted this bizarre piece of jazz. It was in, let's say, 11/8 or 13/8, but the subdivision inside each bar was a septuplet. So it was 11/8, but there was a septuplet underneath the 11/8. It was, I couldn't get, like, I remember trying to transcribe that for like an hour. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. And then like a couple people figured it out. I think actually one of our TSEers did. I think like Matt Griggs figured it out. But he's like, he listens to like Indian music, and it's all that kind of shit. It was crazy. So yeah, all right, there's the challenge. Boom, ABA and an emotion of your choice. Bonus points if you can reference what you listen to get inspired to it, right? Be simple, be obvious. When you write that theme or that emotion, know what the main thing is. Be like, what do I want the listener to listen to, Yeah, I'm excited too. This was fun. I can't believe I let this drift for a year. I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. Here's to a great 2022. I am really optimistic about this year. We're going to have more awesomeness for this year. Peter, Grim, Matthias, Rose, everybody. Yes, we will have a Hanzo ramp soon. It's great to see you guys and girls. And all right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream and let it all go. And oh man, a piece called Timber by Michael Gordon. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. All right, everybody, go get some food. I gotta go make dinner for the girls, and I've got to go drink more. So God bless everybody. Have a great night. I'll see you at the latest in 2 weeks, but maybe next week. I'll ping on the Discords if I do that, okay? Bye, everybody. I'm going to stop the stream. Later.